How's it going, Armed Forces Initiative? My name is Trevor, and welcome to March. March is my favorite month because it is no longer ice fishing season, and it is not quite turkey hunting season, which gives me the perfect time to go out and throw my 3-weight around for some small brown trout for catch and release fishing. In the fall, you just get too busy with hunting. The winter, it froze up, so you have ice fishing. In the summer, you can do it, but it gets a little hot. You're throwing hoppers around, but really, it's fun to target walleye and smallmouth and big old pike. So anyway, I like March. But the other reason I like March is St. Patrick's Day. If you can't tell from the super pale skin, I'm Irish. A lot of AFI members are Irish. In fact, Irish, Irish American, Irish, and Scotch Irish make up the biggest single demographic within the United States military, and they have since its inception. So this month, we're going to do 4 book reviews, 1 a week, and they're all going to be about your essential Irish history. Hit you with a fun fact. There's been about 3,400 medals of honor awarded in the history of the medal, and over 2,000 of those medals have gone to Irish Americans, Scotch Irish, or Irish, what do you call them? Immigrants to America. Well over half. The thing that the Irish kind of have the most, their biggest export, is fighting men. Always has been. So on that note, the first book we're going to read about is The Story We Carry in Our Bones, which is Irish History for Americans. We started with this one because you kind of need to know your basic Irish history in order to make sense of the other 4 books. Not to make sense, I mean, they'll still be fun to read, but you should start with this one. Julian Osborne McKnight writes it. It's very easy to understand. You kind of go through. You can skip the first chapter. I mean, don't tell her I said you can skip it, because it goes back to hey, how did Ireland get founded? And you get this weird mix of history and mythology and leprechauns and all kinds of interesting stuff, which is interesting, but you get into a language thing. And if you guys have been paying attention, I'm not the greatest at languages. And I even speak a little bit of Irish, but some of these words I just can't really pronounce them, and it slows down my reading. So you get that. You get into part 3 is what really kind of piques my curiosity, which is when you get into the invasion, starvation, emigration. If you don't know, there was a big potato famine in Ireland in the 1800s. It's why most of Irish Americans are here today, is because they were fleeing the potato famine, which is interesting in and of itself. And there's hundreds, if not thousands, of books about that and why it's all the British's fault. In fact, in Ireland, they don't call it a famine, because a famine is when there's no food, and there's plenty of food in Ireland. They were just the British Army was boxing all the food up and shipping it back to England, which is why some people refer to it as the emergency or the Great Hunger, not exactly the famine. The famine is when there's no food. There's plenty of food. A foreign power was just taking it and sending it home to their own country, being robbed. But anyway, nothing against you English folks. I know there's some of you around. Gets into the basic history of Ireland. We talk about Irish roots, Irish coming to America, why the Irish are the way they are, different cultural norms within Ireland. Great book for March. Great book for getting your St. Patrick's Day celebration ready. Easy to read, relatively cheap. Go ahead and give it a look. The Story We Carry in Our Bones, Irish History for Americans by Julian Osborne McKnight. Thanks.